Alrighty, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Before we begin, I'm going to ask that you like. I would appreciate it so much. It would help the YouTube algorithm push my channel along, and I would be forever grateful. I would, I love you. All right, let's carry on here. All right, let's carry on. So I'm going to make this video extremely simple here, and that's because not much has changed. What we were talking about in the weekly update, it's now coming to fruition down here. We're getting the bounce right here at this second demand zone. All right, over the past week, I've been pointing out, hey, if you don't get your decent sized bounce coming out of this demand zone, you are very likely going to get it here at the August 2022 high. Why? Because if you do end up losing the August 2022 high, you risk coming down here to 426, and that is when you risk a trend change. So if you're a buyer, I'm guessing there are big buyers in this market, that's the risk. I'm not saying you can't come down here. If we see this level start to crack over here, then yeah. All right, next spot to be watching is going to be down here at 426. But until that happens, guys, we are in this uptrend. There's no denying that. And every time someone has tried shorting it this whole time, it hasn't worked out. All right, let me just point this out. All right, you got this dip over here. Well, guess what? The safe spot to short was down all the way down there. That's what you need to see to get your trend change over there. Now we need to see this. Well, guess what? Over here, you need to see this break. You were just trendless over here. If you want to see an actual downtrend start to form, you need to break this. Well, guess what? Price bounced right before it. So yeah, I'm just pointing out, guys. All right, we are fizzling down here in a wedge-like manner. We did break the downside, so what I am going to do is I'm going to delete this bottom trend line there. I'm going to keep this downtrend here though, because I do think that is going to be important. I'm going to point out we did start getting our bounces today right here on the 0.618 Fibonacci, as well as on Friday. I believe this was on Friday. And guess what, guys? The bottom of this next demand zone is going to be at 0.786 Fibonacci down here, just about 430. So if we do start making our way down there, I do think there's going to be a heavy amount of buyers because they have the incentive to hold the line. And obviously, if they don't hold the line, guys, we'll be here every day. That is the point of our daily updates. We'll keep you updated as we go along. And, the whole purpose is like, hey, you can have better informed decisions in the market. If you're a market participant, hey, might as well not fly blind. I got you. You want to join the community? Hey, there you go. Just hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. We'd all love to have you. There we go. We could be one big, happy, growing family. There we go. But yeah, guys, let's just look at this. You have 6 points of divergence down here on the 15-minute RSI. This is with real-time hours, not extended hours. I am going to be continuously checking extended hours as well as regular hours from here on out. I now have two different charts up at all times watching that, just because they have their different reaction spots. There you go. But yeah, we have 1, we have 2, we have a 3, we have a 4, we have a 5, we have a 6. We have 6 points of divergence here on SPY as you come down into here, and we can actually do that. Wow, that is kind of beautiful. All right, guys, so we deleted the other wedge and our eyes have been open to this one. So I understand you could just kind of keep changing lines up and down, as things break, but if you're seeing a bunch of these wicks, I mean, that's typically what the chart is going to do. I got no reason not to. We are going to be watching down here. I'm just going to tell you, I do think this demand zone down here is going to be your buying opportunity. So do with that info with what you will. Now jumping over here to extended hours, I'm going to show you on the 4-hour RSI, guys, we're approaching oversold territory. So even if you do get down here to 430, it's very likely going to be an oversold territory. And the last time you got down here was all the way back over here. And then you had here. So let's just mark these with arrows real quick. All right, you got that. Next spot was right there. After that, we got over here. Next one was over here. And again, this was guys, this was peak fear. That's when that was going on. This was, everyone thought, market crash was going on. VIX was skyrocketing. We could just pull that up real quick for you guys. That was the daily time frame. You can see VIX spiked to was it 30 we got to? Yeah, you literally had a spike to 30, and I was pointing out like, hey, all right, unless you are having an actual market crash and you're about to melt down, this is where you bounce on the indices. So we did end up bouncing there. The same was over on QQQ. where that was, right down here. And, you know, QQ has been absolutely wild. But yeah, jumping over to QQQ, guys, because, you know, 4-hour RSI, guys, that is getting, it's getting down there. If you come down here, it's going to be oversold. All right. And like, I'm going to take a shot at it and guess you're probably going to have this 30-minute divergence going on over here with extended hours. And this is why I'll be watching both, guys. We'll be reporting to you guys on both. But jumping over to QQQ, guys, we're in the spot we've been like looking for this. And that's why, like, I don't think this is a time to, like, you know, panic and especially not go short, guys. If you want the safe short, you need to break the 426 on SPY. On QQQ, if you want the safe short, you got to come all the way down here at 348. And I've been pointing out, hey, if you end up not holding this demand zone right here, which is where, you know, resistance turned into support right here, we could look at that on the 4-hour time frame. Boom, bop, bing, boo, pow, right? And you were off the races after that. You know, if you do have a daily close underneath here, then I do have to assume that that is going to be your sign of weakness. So we probably do make our way down here, and then we're going to have to see what happens here. Now, if we just go straight down and say you do end up breaking through here, I do have to assume you're probably going to get buyers here. And you're probably going to come back up here somewhere. And then you're probably going to finish up the move with a lower high there, which would then form this beautiful head and shoulders formation we have going on right here. All right. Right shoulder loading, if that happens. All right, guys. I here on the channel, guys, I cover both scenarios, bullish and bearish. I'll let you know what I'm watching at all times. That's what we do. But yeah, guys, if you come down here, this is literally the exact spot that I've been calling out here on SPY and QQQ. So, you know, I don't think it's the best spot to be going short at. Yeah, you could get lucky, but, you know, there you go. It's, you know, there you go. You are in this down sloping channel here. I actually drew this over here though. So you're in this down sloping channel. This is, I just literally went like that, put a parallel line up here, and you have that. So the top of the channel would be all the way up there at 363.50. So that is where, you know, if you do start making a recovery here and you get past right here, all right, because we did have this demand zone and that started to break down today. So if you do make it past here at 360 to, you know, 360.50 there, and that's going to be your next spot. You're coming up here to 363.50 with all likelihood. And if you break out from this downtrend here, like this down sloping channel, then yeah, we're watching, you know, right up here, 364.88, which that was literally the high of day. I believe we called this out in the video. I do know I mentioned it in the morning brief this morning, but I think I mentioned in the weekly update, that was your next spot to be watching was Friday's high of day, which was literally 364.88, and you just came shy of that by what was that? Yeah, 4 cents right there. So yeah, you have a double top there. We're gonna have to see what happens, but that is further out, and we will, you know, we'll approach that when, you know, time comes. Last thing I'm gonna be pointing out here is VIX's 4-hour time frame. You did end up breaking out of this. I don't know why my lines have changed here. This wedge like, you know, structure going on here, wedge slash down sloping channel, whatever you want to refer to this one as. You know, you did end up having a breakout of it and you came back and retested. So speaking of VIX, I do want to bring up what I realized today could be behind this. All right, see how all of these are red candles, all right, but they gap up, like, you know, like a lot of these days we've been seeing VIX gap up, and then by the end of the day it falls flat on its face. Why could that be? All right, 0 DTs. That's why it's like, obviously they, like, VIX is broken. It's not, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say obviously it's broken, because if, you know, it's really just doing what it's meant to do. All right, it goes up when, you know, goes up when puts are bought and calls are sold. It goes down when calls are bought and puts are sold. That's just how it works. That's just what, on SPX, by the way, that's literally what this is all derived of. But 0 DTs, guys, all right? 0 DTs get closed out at the end of the day. We've had an insane amount of 0 DT calls over puts for quite some time now, all right? So what happens when, you know, what if these 0 DTs are getting closed out on some days after the bell, all right? Maybe because, you know, you could trade these until 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what if that is why we see, you know, like calls get sold, and then boom, VIX gaps up, and then they reload the calls the next day. And that is exactly why VIX will gap up, just like it did today. It gaps up, and then it comes back. Now, we do obviously have the structure here, so we're going to have to see what happens here. If you get a 4-hour close back in there, then, you know, there's that. But you know, it's just something I thought I'd bring up. It was a thought I had this morning, and I was like, holy crap, you might have just figured this thing out. But yeah, I'm not going to be paying too much attention to VIX. It really hasn't provided us much value in terms of seeing where the markets are going to be heading, or where they're likely going to be heading. But yeah, speaking of that demand zone, you also have the 0.618 Fibonacci down here at 357.50 down there and QQQ. So yeah, guys, if we get down there, I do have to assume that buyers are probably going to be stepping up to the plate. So yeah, that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.